Hello everybody and welcome back to the Realistic Formula Championship, round 13, the penultimate round of this season 5, and it could be a title deciding round, especially with Daniel Llorente not racing next week. Malachi with that 16-point lead in the Drivers' Championship, and we race around the flowing 16 turns of the Qatar circuit, the Lusail International Circuit, and plenty of opportunities for drivers to pick up on-track limit penalties. Alright, we'll just restart it and hope that restart OBS and everything seems to be smooth. It's just, I might need to try and update OBS or something. I'm not sure if like something's broken in a previous update or something's developed the fault and now everything works smoothly. Strange. But anyway, things are fixed, and some drivers have set their qualifying times. Let's see, Charlotte Perkins getting into the pit lane.
Maybe that is just what the issue is then.
Yeah, I'm not entirely sure. Slava here to cross the line. Moves into 10th on the medium
Not the yellow flag
compound.
thing keeps popping up.
What's popping up, sorry?
Me. The yellow flag thing, because every time it does it, I can't see the actual timing of the session.
Yeah, I think I
not
can
on the screen.
I can still see the timing, yeah. My thing's still got the times. The flag, yeah, the flag kind of makes everyone else.
Sure if it comes up. You shouldn't do it though, like when they go a bit too slow, just...
Yeah, it just... That's just...
There's multiple cars slowing like 1 second, and yeah, but if it's like
it's just
one...
F1 game things.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
It should only be a yellow flag if there's debris on the track or someone spun it.
Yeah.
So go to red flags, that's more stupid.
Rio Harris across the line, 8th place. Miguel to start a lap. Why don't we have a little look here? Anyone else? I think Daniel Llorente is coming towards the end of the lap. They've also got Bradders here, and I've just realised Bradders and Bramble have got the same initials, so that might be a bit confusing. It's the start a lap. James as well, starting a lap. Statlev making his way back to the pit lane. Pastry going around to start a lap. Why don't we check out what Miguel's doing then, since he had such good pace in the previous time we tried to do this session. So, into this very fast flat-out section, 3/10 off Bramble. That thing that shows a yellow sector is just a glitch with the game. Another green flag out there.
I really do like the onboard view, like the graphics and the screen.
Yeah.
Looks like really nice.
And here we go to the line and into 4th place for the Aston Martin.
It might be me, not my Wi-Fi, but sometimes it cuts out a bit.
And there's Malachi.
But that's like the loading. It might just be mine.
Yeah. Alright, let's see. There's Bradders there. Climbs into 8th. We got Amiri starting the lap. And another, the Salva as well behind. And who's the next driver on a lap? I think it might be Pastry here, who's making his way around the final corner. DRS open. And is in 14th place. And not quite where he wants to be at this point. Williams with the 2 slowest times. Daniel Llorente goes into 2nd place, behind Bramble by about nearly 3/10. So, who is Bramble? Bramble might be starting a lap. Or I think he's finishing a lap. Ramble. No, he must have been starting it. Behind, Malachi is on a storming lap, it seems. 2 purple sectors. Crosses a line and goes quickest from his teammate by just over 1/10 of a second. Amiri behind, who we did see start the lap. What can a newer driver in this league do? 14th, ahead of his experienced teammate. Sauber gets the time on the board, but it is the slowest, unfortunately, for the Sauber team. R-Web is just beginning this latest flying lap. Slava, as well, just beginning the lap behind. Daniel Lorente will be going back into the pit lane. Ramble might have been on a lap, actually, that last one. I think he might have done, actually, because he's not on a push lap now. McLarens feed their way through. Mythos speed with an invalid time. James on the outlap. But nobody's really on a push lap at this point. So, yep, James. So we might get a bit of an onboard lap here. As drivers peel their way into the pits. What has one of Ferrari's latest signings got? So, the run down towards turn 1, try to use as much of the track on the left-hand side as possible. Brake late, turn in, use the angle of the corner. Next.
Listen. Ready? Listen to this crunch.
To these 2 quite fast, but not almost, well, almost flat, not fully flat.
It's
3/10 down, first sector. Lava there. 15th place for the Williams. James.
You like that beat me?
Yeah, I think it's just Nias or something, but I'm not going to even try to pronounce that every time, otherwise I'm going to get confused.
What, is that the player?
It's James. James Nias. But no, he said it's pronounced how it's spelt, but then some people overpronounce a certain letter or something, and now I'm getting confused, so I'm just going to... He's James, and he's making his way around turn 16. Very first qualifying lap. Crosses the line into 9th place. About a second off the pace. As a Red Bull makes his way out of the pits. That's Statlev. Riley, meanwhile, crosses the line and improved by about 100th of a second. Williams getting to the last corner. Slava, is he winding up for another lap? No, he's peeling into the pit lane as well. Jonathan out there. Jonathan is pushing on this latest lap.
James is getting called washed, by the way.
I mean, James is a second off the pace. Jonathan bails out of the lap.
I know, said so difficult to watch. And Bramble was 19th in the speed trap. He's the worthless 3 guy.
Who's what, sorry?
In the chat.
Worthless what? What do you say?
No, worthless.
That's Eagle, right?
L-E-S.
Worthless.
Oh yeah,
Worthless Eagle, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah.
Bradders crosses the line, goes into 6th for the RB.
Both McLarens are slowing the speed cap somehow.
Yeah.
Well, they're 1-2, but it's the corners.
And this is mainly about cornering speeds. So nobody's on a push lap.
seem to be stepping up their pace, it seems. 6th and 8th is good from them.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they're still charging towards Aston Martin. I mean, they are 32 points behind, but if you have a decent result here, you're at least in with a chance in the finale in Abu Dhabi. But
I guess it's only one race left, isn't it?
what do you say, sorry?
This is the second to the last race.
Yeah, this is. So one more race after this one.
And pre-season gets underway, and I can start cooking.
There'll be a while until things get going again, though.
And then we'll get new updates and everything, and keep it running well. This time around, keep socials like top notch. That's where we get all our members from. Is our Twitch. So that's how we keep the traction going and keep them entertained.
Yeah, well, at least F1 we've kind of got nailed down in terms of we've got a grid where there's a lot of familiar people, who have raced for the whole season, and we've had full grids like every race.
Head FA needs to get out of here. But who's watching the stream when he could be answering tickets?
Should he not be watching the stream to see if there's anything to report?
Yeah, he's just yapping about the Ferrari.
Well, I mean, F2 has got no tickets, so I'm not surprised to see that he's, Nice. I
mean, he's living quite the dream then.
Yeah. Because, I mean, it's been over... It's over 24 hours since the race started now for F2, so I'm not quite sure if the cut-off's the end of the race or the start of the race, but or start of the qualifying. Miguel is finding time again for the Aston Martin, who, I mean, it seems like Aston Martin are going to have to hope for Miguel in this race anyway to carry their hopes.
Ryan needs to go on a worldie. I can't wait to race this season. I genuinely can't.
Who's going to hire you?
Well, I've already got it kind of sorted, to be fair. I just don't want to leak it yet.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
I think you can take a guess on which powertrain is it going to be. I wonder.
I mean, who are you handing the powers to of Mercedes?
That's the question. I'm still yet to like. I gotta find someone trustworthy to have.
Yeah, you don't
the power of Mark.
I mean, someone's going to come in and they're just going to decimate the team. Oh, and there's a moment in turn one for Charlotte.
If you ever left Red Bull, I would praise it.
Rio Harris starts a lap. We're just going to watch people across the line now. It's difficult to even see who's starting laps and who's ending laps, but how's the Aston Martin getting on? He's into the final sector now. Miguel, no.
Riley.
What about?
He's up.
It's Bramble. Bramble is there. Bramble, not. What about? Riley looks to be on a lap now, so I think I've found like the start of who's on a lap. Everybody else is trying to get to the line to start a lap. It looks like actually. Is that V-Carb just got to the line with about 2 seconds to go? I think there.
Just 1/10.
So this is going to be a bit chaotic.
Only 1/10 up for Riley.
Yeah, Riley. Into that turn 16. Can he get anywhere near? I mean, the top 10. Crosses the line. Does move into 10th place for the time being. Behind, that is the Alpine. In the pit lane,
low improving.
Rio Harris,
I'd hope so.
About equal with his previous best, but we'll see what happens when he gets to the line. As Rio Harris crosses the line, doesn't improve, I don't think. The two Haas cars cross the line, 13th and 14th for them. Jonathan behind, doesn't go anywhere. Two Haas cars in 13th and 14th. Slava crosses the line, moves into 13th. Bramble crosses the line, goes on to provisional pole position. Statlev has crossed the line in 5th. Then is the two Mercedes cars. Arweb into 3rd. Then Lol displaces Arweb. Daniel Llorente crosses the line. And that is the pole streak over, I think.
What's happened there, Daniel Llorente?
That is not ideal. We'll see the two V-Carbs across the line. look at this. We got like teammate order for like a lot of that. Look,
Apart
we
from
got
Aston, it
two
is.
McLarens, 2 Mercedes, 2 Red Bulls, 2 V-Carbs, 2 Haas, and 2 Alpine, like next to each other. But Bramble, the McLarens look dominant.
I know. That's a good. Is it 4/10 they have
Yeah.
on third there? Look how tight that gap is from P4 to
Yeah.
P6. I think it's
Yeah, I mean, look at that.
within a tenth.
P4 to P7.
Yeah, P7.
98 milliseconds.
That's crazy.
Miguel, great performance. I mean, it shows the drivers basically performing to their cars while they're on similar levels. A lot of them. Let's just see if I've got a replay here.
Which powertrain is it going to be?
I mean, who are you handing the powers to?
Well, to you.
Of Mercedes.
That's the question. I'm still yet to
Very close to your teammate though.
Oh, find someone trustworthy.
This is
the
Denmark's
power of
turn 1, which we
I
can
mean,
see. If someone's going to come in and they're just going to making a hard decimate the team. Oh, there's a moment in turn 1 for Charlotte. Well, anyway, we've got a bit of a interesting grid, but as things stand, well, Malachi is pretty close to the championship, not winning it.
Where is Bramble, by the way, in the championship?
Bramble is P11 at the moment, but he's only done 3 races.
Oh, okay.
So, just remind ourselves of what's going to happen, because if Red Bull outscore McLaren, they will be the Constructors' Championship, outscored by 8 points. That is the Constructors. On the driver's side, 11 points outscore for Malachi over Daniel Llorente. That's the Drivers' Championship sealed. But there's a lot that can happen around the Qatar circuit.
Daniel's got to win at this race.
Yeah, he's got to be ahead after this round. So he needs to outscore by 17 points. So that is a big ask. That's like a P2, and Malachi's out of the race, basically, at least. I mean, obviously, there's other ways with like P1 and like
team orders going on here.
P8 here.
What do you reckon?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen Bramble in the past holding up drivers, but I mean, I think the McLarens might be able to even escape. But here we go then. At the Qatar circuit, it could be the title decider. It's lights out, and away we go. And both McLarens then getting away well, and are both clearly into the lead. It looks like Malachi is already taking the lead over Bramble. Down the inside, there goes Daniel Llorente on the Aston Martin of Miguel. Statlev also making a move around the outside there. Malachi, the championship leader, in the lead. Bramble almost letting him by on lap 1. And Daniel Llorente is now challenging Lol here. Daniel Llorente will want to make work of this and make sure to keep up with the McLarens. Off the track and into the brake marker board is the second Racing Bull there of Jake Fluck in the background. And now diving to the inside of the Mercedes. That's Bradders looking. Oh no! Big contact in the background. We have those two, Arweb and Bradders, going off. Going off and out of this race. Surely Arweb's been disqualified for facing the wrong way, but that is absolute chaos there. So Malachi is leading this race, but it's not by
that's not good for Mercedes.
Yeah, that could cost them in the fight.
He was rushing back on the track and get qualified. Ridiculous.
Arweb out of this race. Bramble goes through and takes that lead of the race back. But it looks like James has almost dropped out of the DRS train. Let's see if we can off the track and into the brake marker board is the second Racing Bull there of Jake Fluck in the background. And now diving to the inside of the Mercedes. That's Bradders looking. Oh no! Big contact in the background. We have Those two, Webb and Brothers, going off. Going off. And both drivers then. Well, Brothers is damaged, it seems. Having to make that stop.
You can see reverse back on the track and he gets disqualified.
Yep. Was disqualified for going the wrong way out there. And everything is now lagging again. Is it a problem with the replays, actually? That might be the issue.
Potentially.
Oh no, wait, it's fixed. It's fixed. So, Jake Fluck, 3 seconds. Let's have a quick little check. Jake Fluck's already picked up 6 seconds worth of penalties out there. There's another change for the race lead.
It's still
and
lagging
down the inside there goes Daniel Llorente on low and into that 3rd position.
He's on that pace, Daniel Llorente. He is.
Yeah, he's on it. He's closing in. He doesn't want to let the McLarens get away. I think the stream should be fixed now, I hope.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Is it fixed
it's smoothly running. Yeah, smoothly running.
Yeah, smoothly running. I think I need to have a tweak of that replay thing, because the replays do work, but then it lags for like 10 seconds after the replay's finished. Yep. There we go.
Come on, Miguel. Miguel, was it Miguel?
Miguel there.
Doing well in the Aston.
Yep.
Riding P10.
Did lose out a bit at the start of the race.
Both in points. Massive points for Aston.
Yep, did lose out a bit at the start, but Red Bull's making a good start. Obviously, those two at the back not having the start they wished. Brothers retiring in the pit lane.
Wonder if they'll have any drama back in the paddock.
That was...
Yep. Well, he's already saying in the stream, in the chat, I got took out.
Yeah, not surprising.
FIA's going to be on that one.
Yeah, we don't know the exact specifics, but we did see that off.
On low.
Statlev. Oof. That was close. Yellow flags, potentially. That might just be the pit lane retirement, actually. But that was very close from Statlev.
That was. I think they
touched. Yeah, that was very close to, and very unhappy Daniel Llorente, and him being spun around at turn 1. But, well,
your stream's kind of an instant replay for me. It's the stream delay, so like I can just like look down and then it's like about like 10 seconds behind.
Yeah, so you can basically see a replay anyway. Here we go, Jake Fluck, James Fluck with that 6 seconds worth of penalties, which is not going to be ideal. Oh my word, he's lost the car there, and that could have been very costly indeed. He loses DRS, but he is still going. We're just riding on board, just seeing him almost look to pull off a move there, but in the end, he's ended up. Out of that DRS. Yeah, let's see if we can. Off the track and into the brake marker board. Hang on. And now it's going off the track and into the brake marker board. Yeah, I think I'll just come back to the main feed. Yeah, things definitely lag with the replay. Daniel Llorente, is he close to Bramble? I'm trying to switch. Yep, here we go, around the outside. I see it on slideshow mode. It's not updated. Replay thing.
Brambles to the right.
I think I'm just... Let me just...
It's practically a 6-way fight here.
off the track and into the brake marker board is the second racing ball there of Jake off the track.
I think it's starting to catch up.
It might be.
It's getting there.
Yeah, I need to have a look at this replay thing because it seems to like, I don't know, just makes it completely glitch out. Right, it's fixed itself again now. Yeah. Well, we might watch some replays at the end of the race. But this is the current race order. Statlev and Malachi. Look at this. He's out of the DRS, Malachi. So, that is interesting. Especially. Malachi. Bramble lets him back in basically to the DRS there. Daniel Llorente tries to break away. Tyre wear about even for most drivers on the circuit.
I think is catching up. It's just stuck on.
How far behind is it now?
Well, on here it just froze on lap 5.
Oh. For me, everything's working again.
Well, let me
I'll just quickly, I'll check the stream myself, and I'll restart again if there's an issue.
It
seems to work. Maybe. Yeah, they're on like the previous lap of the last corner for me.
Oh yeah, it's all good now. I just have to reset the page.
Yeah. Well, so we do have replays, but they just lag out the stream for like 2 minutes. So
yes, maybe
that one qualifying thing. So I think it's just. I tried to watch that Alpine go into the gravel, and then it just booted everyone. Well, at least I'm not the lobby host. Otherwise, people might be disconnecting a bit more. Even. Yep. So. Riley in the points at the moment. Actually, with the best tyre wear out of all the medium runners I can see. So,
tyre savings then?
Yeah, let's have a little look and see if I can. That is the tyre wear for Harris, who has made an overtake. Let's see if I swap to. Yeah, look at Riley's tyres. This is Riley's tyres on the screen now. Well, and then,
I got the instant replay from showing in a minute.
And then Harris, 8% worse front left, so has been punishing that quite a bit. Bramble back in the race lead, but that's pretty redundant at this point.
We remember reporting the team radios.
Yeah. Further back, that's Perkins. Trying to chase down Slava. It is not able to get by at this point.
Who's commentating right now? I'll take a guess.
Who's saying that?
League me. Yeah. Who's being FIA right now? He's probably got a ticket to do.
And James is dropping quite far back. And we'll just quickly see the swap for the race lead again before.
There's like 2 separate packs, really.
Yep, defensive shape thrown a bit from Jake, but it's not going to be enough.
We have Riley once again.
Yeah, I mean, they really want to try and catch up to that James and Fluck battle.
Riley shouldn't be fighting with the Sattler, to be honest. But
yeah, I mean, he shouldn't be fighting with a Salva, at least. I mean, and a Haas, even. Further forward, Fluck and James, they go wheel to wheel again. James off the track, that gives him a 3 seconds, so I wonder if that might be removed. But this track is a magnet for track limit violations, and wheel to wheel off the track, elbows out, 6.2 seconds behind
Miguel
Miguel.
out of DRS,
Yeah,
by the way.
Miguel, he's in a battle of his own now. Because he's just going to be dropping
He's in
time
this
because he
first
doesn't have
car, they are
DRS.
bunched, so
Yeah, he just...
he's wanting to pick the hole.
Yeah, I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do because the drivers ahead just keep getting DRS and now, they're just going to
I
keep
might
pulling
have a
ahead.
word with enthusiasts and see if I can promote Miguel to Mercedes driver one with Low. Because Low's consistent.
Where's Danny this race?
Yeah, I don't. Well,
Here
I
we
think he's
go,
been quite
wheel to
inactive
wheel.
recently.
Daniel Llorente around the outside of Malachi, inside line into turn 2, and they go wheel to wheel. Malachi runs wide. Daniel Llorente goes through into second place. Lap 10 of 29, and the front running
Warning going to be removed. He
drivers
got
still in the
Thank you,
train.
mate.
Slava and Perkins battling.
Deep Green said James with penalty will be removed.
What that warning just there?
Yeah, because he got
for
pushed
James.
off supposedly.
Yeah. Well, we know Deep Moon likes to help James. No, he likes to vote for him for driver of the day. That's all I'm gonna say. No, I mean that is a clear warning removal though. Obviously. Instant warning removal though. No
I'm
even
just watching
need
an
for
instant replay there with the contact from Statlev. No, not Statlev. Daniel
Llorente and Malachi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, look at this. Riley, he's not going anywhere at this point. Like, he's gaining a bit on James now because of that on the last lap. But this latest lap, James was once again quicker by 0.6. So they need to kind of try and find a formula that works. Bramble still leading this race after taking pole position. Malachi shaping for a move. Maybe just trying to put Daniel Llorente off there a bit. But on this occasion, nothing seems to come from it. And Bramble's left the session. So Daniel Llorente goes through in the race lead. Malachi ahead, Bramble. That's going to cost him a lot. Look at this. So many drivers piling past.
I'd imagine he's been disconnected.
Yeah, that is a shame for Bramble, who was leading the race. And now he's going to be out of this DRS. Someone needs to give in an invite, obviously, but easier said than done when you're driving things. But there we go, lol. Now it's the top 4 battle. And there's 2 Red Bulls there, 1 McLaren, and there is the Mercedes of lol deciding to go for a bit of an early stop here.
You know what Bramble's EA is? I think I haven't added, it's just I don't know his actual EA. It shows up differently.
I think it's like Bramble. I don't know if it's like Bramble LN4 or something. I don't know if that's the EA or. I mean, he's in the stream chat though, right? So.
He's not there.
Yeah, I think I'm just gonna take off the pit stop little thing timer because it seems to muck up things. Anyway, James has pitted. Riley's pitted. Pastry has pitted. Bramble still unable to get back in. So Fluck is gaining. Harris staying on. Here we go, we might be seeing some pit stop action for the leading contenders. Not for Daniel Llorente or Malachi, but for Statlev.
Miguel in.
Yep.
Jake in.
So the leading 3
destroyed by
Statlev gets out ahead of the Aston Martin.
Which one of the Alpines? Will put in?
Yep,
In there?
8th and 9th place for them. And it is Amiri who gets the pit lane, and Bramble rejoins as Daniel Llorente.
He's kind of out of the fight now for the lead. It's just whether he can stick with the podium.
Yeah, it's whether there's a safety car or any kind of thing that might let him back in. But all 9.6 seconds. Yeah, he needs to get back past. I don't know. I don't know who he got overtaken by in the end. I don't know if Fluck got up to him or not. But you'll be in about 5th probably when things shake out. Statlev, a bit bogged down at the moment.
Whoa. What is that?
Statlev is a bit bogged down behind. Bramble's left the session again. Bramble's out of the race. Bramble retired on the track, it seems, so that's interesting. As here we go then.
He retired,
He's retired, I think. Llorente in the pit lane. Malachi staying out for the time being. So the 2 championship contenders. Wonder where Statlev will come out in all of this, because he did have to overtake Jonathan. Bramble off the track there, just retiring. Getting set. Yep, out of the race. Llorente pit exit. As Statlev is just behind, so that traffic probably did cost him getting
Bramble
position.
has some friend request, but unlucky his AI is retired.
Yeah, I think that might be a thing that's happened before, like where you try and join back and then it just puts you out.
And you literally do it once.
Yeah, just...
It is annoying.
Yeah. But Malachi, the only driver yet to make a tyre change who started on the mediums. His tyres might be exploding right now. I mean, I'm not entirely sure. Let's have a little look at his car info before he does peel in. 62 left rear, so not too bad to be fair. In terms of he's not going to get a puncture at the moment, and now he does pit. But
he got disconnected Sunshine twice, and DNF'd him. He joined back, and then it happened again.
Yeah, we'll have to see then what is going to happen between Daniel Llorente and Malachi, because Malachi's in the pits. Daniel Llorente is making his way down the main straight now. 15 laps to go. Malachi's at the pit exit. Statlev goes through on Daniel Llorente, and Malachi's right in this battle still.
Ooh.
So there's no dropping out of the DRS for Malachi. He's right in the top 4.
His undercut worked.
Yeah, his undercuts worked, but I mean, they're still, Malachi, they really need Malachi to be away from them, and they could just break away. Right, they need Malachi.
He's a lot fresher tyres because, Daniel was from one lap but low.
Yeah, let's have a quick little look at the tyre age. Lol, 3 laps. Llorente 1 lap, Statlev 2 laps. Obviously Malachi with the brand new tyres. That was... So now we're still waiting for pit stops from Slava and Perkins. Perkins, who didn't make a stop for ages in the last race I saw in Mexico, and then seems to get involved with the leading runners. Oops, something's happened there. I'm not entirely sure. Deep Moon saying that DNF means 1 less ticket.
Oh, where's Logo?
And Perkins with a penalty. Perkins going wheel to wheel. Perkins making contact with Fluck. Fluck goes very wide. And Perkins and James now wheel to wheel around the final corner. And also up front, Lol going wheel to wheel with Statlev. And also now Malachi, who's managed to...
Wait, if Daniel
Good.
Lante finishes first and he could finish fourth, is that enough?
No, I don't think so, because a win, 25, fourth is 12 points, so that would be only 13 points, and it depends where the fastest lap goes, of course, but that still
I don't
wouldn't
think
be
Daniel's
enough.
going to do it. I don't think Daniel's going to do it.
No, unless he
Unless the thing
somehow
is
has an
cancelled.
emergency, like, race, he just, like, connects via his phone or something, I don't know, controls his computer with his phone.
Just tell them RFC's on. They'll
You
understand.
just put the broadcast on there and just get them to support.
And just do it on stream. They can just call you.
Yeah. So,
Ceremony for what? RFC, yeah.
just
Last race of
checking.
the season.
You're just checking the penalty situations, and yep, none of the front running or top five. Miguel just still all by himself. Fastest lap set from Daniel Llorente.
Only four
So that would be
viewers.
26 points. Malachi in P4, only 14-point gain, so it'll still be 2 points behind. And if they're level on points after this, they have the same number of race wins, but Malachi is an extra second place, so that would put him ahead still, I believe. Malachi with the back-to-back in
Imagine he could crash
Qatar and
out.
Mexico. Yeah, he just
I'm
needs
just
to play
waiting
it
for it.
safe. And
That
the two
could
Alpines
pull the
swap
dirty
over.
game here. He could take one for the team.
Perkins finally making the stop.
It's a Simon thing to do. Crash one into the wall. I want McLaren more to win though than Red Bull.
Yeah, just checking the Sauber at the back of the field hasn't disconnected from what I can see. So I don't think it's
Just
not
rolling
ghosted.
around,
So,
okay?
yeah, I'm just checking to make sure we don't need to disqualify anyone again. Well, I mean, people get disqualified every race, but
We're gaining a lot of time for some reason on Perkins, it seems. Never mind.
Perkins is on new tyres in now, right?
Yeah, mediums.
Yeah, Perkins.
Only one on mediums actually.
Here we go. Battle
Oh.
again up front. Statlev going through into the lead.
Daniel's playing it safe.
Yeah, well, Daniel knows if he's out, it's definitely going to be over. So, but I mean, obviously he needs to take a bit of risk. He needs to win the race.
I think that though.
Yeah, Statlev's just
You can't really do
trying
two more this, can you? Like, if you were to hold him up, it's not going to change much. Anyway,
No, well,
like,
they really. Yeah, I think
8
he's trying
seconds.
to charge his battery as well at the moment as well. Seems he's taking this opportunity to charge
Last
his
car
battery,
behind is 8
and
seconds,
like because he's in front, he can't really make a move around here unless you're going to be really cunning and send one. But then you're likely going to get a penalty if you send it in a fast corner and you're not the car ahead going in there. Then
But Miguel, I think, is gaining.
yeah, he has. He's gained. I saw it at 8.2. Now it's like 7.3. So
7 point.
look at these. They're like, there's about a tenth difference between each car, like the interval. This is looking like it's again going to go to the wire, but I mean, we said that before, and then obviously there were Bramble like causing a bit of mischief a few races ago, but here we go then. Malachi
Who pulls to where?
and Daniel Llorente. Daniel Llorente just plays it safe again. Statlev, bit of an inside line there. Behind, we got James and Fluck. James on the inside, Riley and Harris, but Fluck and James bang into each other. James seems to come across on Fluck, and Fluck now gets a much better exit down towards turn number 4. And again, James moves over, and Fluck holds the inside line. And Fluck does get ahead of James, who seems to be racing very hard, and this is not going to be helping them to catch up to anyone.
Like, spaced apart the grid. Well, you got a different bit. It doesn't look like 16 drivers.
It's because they're just so close. So many packs of Yeah. Nobody's been able to fully break away from anyone, really, apart from Miguel, who's just on his own. Lap 20 of 29. And Statlev goes for the race lead again. And Malachi has to back out of it a bit, as Statlev slows more than he was expecting. And here is Daniel Llorente looking for an inside move here on Malachi and his teammate into turn 4, and manages to get both of them. Statlev on the inside, Malachi trying to go around the outside, but now he's over onto the runoff area. So Statlev wheel to wheel with Malachi, and that's ended up with Malachi losing a place there to Lol. I'd love a replay of that, but I don't want to lag out everything again, particularly. Perkins making contact with Fluck. Fluck goes very wide. Perkins and James now wheel to wheel around the final corner, and also up front, Lol going wheel to wheel with Statlev and fifth, and Daniel wins against fastest lap. Then that would be tied. But Malachi would still be ahead.
He would win if it was...
Malachi would be ahead because he's got an extra second. No, wait, actually. If Daniel wins, then he'd have an extra win, so he would be ahead.
Ooh.
But, I mean, fifth seems unlikely at this moment in time. I can't... Perkins making contact with Fluck. Fluck. Right. Yeah. There's a few teething issues with replays, but...
I'd love a safety car now.
Yeah, well, we are not condoning anyone to smash it into the wall. Is that damage for someone there? I just saw like bits of carbon fibre potentially in the middle of the circuit.
I have an idea. What's going on there? It was better. It's a freeway fight, that's fine.
Yeah, as Harris goes in ahead, there's Riley and Mythos Speed.
We'll give Riley a quick message to do something.
And hopefully that message does not contain yeet it into the wall. So Fluck still battling away with James and has been for a while. James with that 3 seconds. Jake with 6 seconds. I wonder, he did get those penalties quite early, but I wonder if some of them were also unavoidable and that could be removed. Pit lane. Is that a fastest lap attempt potentially? Is into turn 1. Statlev goes through the Red Bulls wheel to wheel. We watch on board from Malachi. And they're both away ahead, the Red Bulls. Because as things stand, then Red Bull would win the Constructors' Championship. So, I mean, I'm pretty sure they'd win it. Yeah, they'd win it pretty comfortably as it stands. But I mean, we don't know if anything is going to go down with Statlev. James, another 3-second penalty. Dropping back a little bit from Fluck. Malachi. There's Mythos Speed and Riley. Riley dropping behind. And Mythos Speed needs to try and keep up with Rio Harris here. Otherwise, 8th place could be sealed.
And Llorente partially pulling away, and
I don't know if Statlev looks like he's kind of doing a bit of games here. Almost. There is.
Although he has
the Sauber up ahead.
Which
they're going to have to ghost through. And Malachi. Statlev still trying to get past that car. The 15th place. Sauber. Who's now being gobbled up. we'll probably be lapped by a lot more drivers by the end of this race. I mean, Perkins has already been lapped as well. Is on a personal best lap at this point, so we'll just keep an eye on that in case there's any chance of getting anywhere near a fastest lap. Perkins rapidly gaining on the Sauber car. Riley, Harris and Little Speed continue their battle. Statlev just getting that cushion every time, or Daniel Rente getting that cushion over Statlev, which seems to kind of be Statlev giving him that cushion, making sure Malachi can't get too near to him, but Malachi now back into second place. Lol just 7/10 behind, keeping this battle in check, wanting to continue his great run. He's had 5 podiums in the last 6 races. Wants another podium here in Qatar. Would help Mercedes pull well clear of Ferrari, because, well, Ferrari struggling in this race, only one driver, and could be costly in their fight for third in the championship. They've been ahead, they've been behind, but in the last race, they dropped well behind. So, out front, Daniel Llorente still pulling away. Malachi not pushing 100% at this point, of course. Just letting Daniel Llorente try and maybe trying to force him into getting a track limit. I mean, that could be either way. Both drivers could be trying to get each other track limits. We'll just check the penalty situation. Penalties mainly for the drivers lower down, but Fluck and James, they both have 6 seconds each. Last 5 laps of this race as Riley gets close. And also Statlev on the inside of Malachi will be outside for turn 2. Is there a potential cutback? Does get a decent exit, but Malachi deploys the ERS and manages to get away. But at the moment, Red Bull would be scoring 26 for the race win, as Rio Harris bumps into the back of Riley going into turn 1. Sauber marked, but getting a 3 seconds. But at the moment, 16 and also 15 points for third. No, sorry, 26 and 15. So that would be 41. Obviously, McLaren with the solitary 18. So that would put Red Bull into a championship winning position as it stands, which would be even if Statlev finished in 4th. Because if Statlev finished in 4th, 26 plus 12, 38 points, and Malachi obviously 20 points less than that, currently with the 2nd place. If Red Bull finished 3rd and 4th, 15, 27, and Malachi won, then it would continue. So, yeah, things could still change. The Drivers' Championship doesn't look like it's going to be decided today, but what could be decided is the Constructors, as it stands at the moment.
Who's going to be winning currently? Red Bull.
Red Bull, as it stands, unless...
What's the gap?
Right now, it's quite a big gap, because if it's 1st and 3rd, it would be 26 plus 15, which is 41, and Malachi is currently getting 18. So that would be a 23 point, and they only need 8 points over McLaren. Wheel to wheel,
Sunshine shed.
Goes off.
Malachi going to get brake check.
What's Sunshine saying?
Malachi going to get brake check.
Well, I'm sure Deep Moon will be keeping in check. Mythos Speed sending one to the inside. But Lol still there with this battle, dropping back a little bit now maybe. But he's
What will I
done.
get P8? I'll be happy if he gets P8 ahead of this.
I mean, he's got a great
I say shit
opportunity.
Albert. The car's bad, but the driver's doing amazing things.
Yeah, Rio Harris is a really
Might
good
have
driver.
to sign him.
Yeah, I mean, he had a great race last time. 5th place in the Sauber. Like, he qualified, I think it was 7th to 5th, if I'm not mistaken. So, that is pretty good. Also, Mythos Speed, driver in 10th, was an 18th to 6th, I want to say, in the last race. And did get voted driver of the day, so. And could yet finish in 8th in this race. Rio Harris will be fighting to keep that. Just checking the ERS levels. Riley Mythos Speed is practically a full battery out there. And just it'll come down to a last lap who can basically win the cycling race almost. Just everybody's just keeping it in check. Last lap, everybody will go for it. And there might be more penalties yet to come. Out front though, Daniel Llorente continuing to lead. Perkins with another 3 seconds out there. That now makes that 6 seconds for Perkins. Statlev gaining on Malachi. Malachi gaining on Daniel Llorente, who covers it off.
Fox is fighting for 4 points. Massive conversation going on in the chat. I'll leave you to doing the oral commentary for the last lap and a half. Okay. That's right.
Yep.
Like, Jake Flack's still fighting.
Oh, look at that. Llorente letting Malachi past. And that even might let Statlev. So, Llorente's decided he wants 2nd place going into this last lap.
Daniel has fast lap, right?
No, Malachi's got it now, I think. No.
Oh.
No, wait, Daniel's got it. But Malachi's got it on. Malachi's got it on my screen, but I can see Daniel Llorente's got it on my other screen, so that's a bit of an annoyance. I wonder if I can quickly try and refresh that. No, Malachi's still got it there, but I'm pretty sure. Gaz, has Malachi got it on your screen? No, Llorente, sorry. Has Llorente got it on your screen?
Pardon?
Has Llorente got the fastest lap on your screen?
I don't know how to check.
Down the inside goes Daniel Llorente. Just change the gap thing to say fastest lap. Malachi trying to fight it back around the outside and almost runs off the track. And now they go wheel to wheel once again into turn 4. Daniel Llorente is committed driving from the pair of them. And Malachi seems to have got ahead, but Daniel Llorente is not going to give this up and is going to dive into turn 6, the hairpin. Malachi, though, gets out of it ahead, but it's not over yet. Daniel Llorente takes a wide line here. And we'll check the ERS levels. They're level pegging on ERS levels. This is all going to come down to these last few flat-out corners and then the last one. Daniel Llorente seems to be deploying a lot of ERS here into the fast right-hander of turn 12. They go wheel to wheel, they bang into each other. Daniel Llorente has to cut the corner, basically. Malachi stays ahead of Daniel Llorente, and that could be the moment that wins him the RFC Championship.
Will he die from it?
He's going to round the final corner. Statlev goes up the inside of Daniel Llorente as Malachi wins the Qatar Grand Prix from Daniel Llorente. Lol beats Statlev to the line after that collision at the final corner. Miguel in 5th place.
Well done, Miguel.
With a very solid drive. Fluck and James.
How come Riley dropped off?
I'm not sure. That must have been another instant behind, but we were obviously focusing on the leaders.
Yeah.
James in 7th behind Fluck. They had a big buffer to this next battle. So despite their 6-second penalty, they finished ahead. Harris in 8th. Mythos Speed in 9th. Riley had a 3 seconds as well in the end.
10th place.
Amir does have that 12 seconds though, and another penalty as well to boot. At that last corner, Jonathan leads home an 11th and 12th for Alpine. I wonder if Pastry might actually get that though with the penalties. We'll have to see because that was 15 seconds of penalties. Pastry crosses the line behind into 12th. And we wait for the last few finishes. But for Red Bull, that is a 2nd and a 4th, which gives them... We do the maths quickly because Daniel Rente did have the fastest lap, I believe. I do StatLev, not quite sure what's going on there. But we get to the finish of the race. So a 2nd and a 4th makes that 18, makes that 30 points. And Malachi got 31 points, I think, 31 for Red Bull and 25 for McLaren. So Red Bull are very close to winning the championship, but not quite. And Malachi is very close to winning the Drivers' Championship, but not quite. Until next week, at least. I see the podium celebrations.
Oh, I've got intel from Riley. You got took out by Haas and Sauber. Supposedly that's that. That's why I dropped off like 2 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah, so if the championship is to be decided this race, it will be decided in the steward's office.
Yep. I'm going to have to depart now. If there's any, like, after race interviews or whatever, should be able to interview. But yeah, I'd say it was a good race.
Yeah,
Good
I'd
back
say.
and forth at the front.
Yeah, on the last lap as well, it wasn't just like in DRS on the main straight. They both were, multiple corners, which you don't expect, wheel-to-wheel battling, and they were taking it. But, well...
I shall see you later. Good stream.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, some technical difficulties, but we move.
In the end, we had a good stream. And we'll see what that means for the championship.
See you in a bit.
All right.
Bye-bye.